Okay, let it go. So the other video has the whole let it go on it, so you should be able to enjoy that. Today's assignment is we're reviewing. Of course, we always do our exercises at the very beginning, and we'll be doing a book assignment, theory, note recognition, review songs, and your new song is, of course, Let It Go. So daily, your children are reviewing hands separate. Remember to go slowly here. Pick up your fingers. That's hard, especially 4 and 5. Then the left hand, same thing. Pick up your fingers. Shift. Then you're gonna, once they can do that without looking and they can shift, their fingers are starting to be able to move more easily, then you're gonna put them together, right? So you've been doing that. This is in preparation for the next step. So hands together, right? Okay, if they can do that, the next thing they're learning how to do is skip. 1, 3, 5, 3, 1. 1, 3, 5, 3, 1. 5, 3, 1, 3, 5 in the left hand. So after they can do hands separate, they're putting this together. Goal is to not look. Okay, good. Intermediate students are doing major 5s. Those can be found on your sheet. So if you young kids want to start looking at that, great. So those are found over here on the sheet that you should all have. If you don't, of course, let me know. But you're doing the C major position, G major, D major, E flat, and F this week. Giving you F. So you want to be able to do those. So C position, find it. G position, find it. D position, find it. E flat position, find it. F position, D. So move around and see if you can do those quickly. You can memorize those by looks as well. Okay, our assignment sheet, that'll be emailed to you. Basically in your assignments, we're working out of book 1 for most of you, and then there's a book 2 for the intermediate students. So in this, your students should be able to recognize the names of these notes by looking. So they should be able to say this. Let's put this closer so you can see it. D, C, D, C, C, D, C, D, C, C. So by look, you also notice these are black, so those are quarter notes, and these are hold that whole note. So the quarters each get 1 pulse, and a whole note gets 4 pulses. So they should be able to do that at any of these levels of units. So the first unit's going to be all about C and D. So your child will get to recognize these notes. They'll also see that they're half notes. They'll get 2 pulses, and the quarter note gets 1. So they'll see that a dotted half note over here gets 3 pulses. So those are things that they should be getting familiar with. Here, they're both keys play together. This is a new sign. It's a rest. It's a quarter rest. So they're playing here quarter, 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 rest. And they've learned to do that. So that's those notes. Unit 2 adds 1 note, so they'll be adding E. So they should be able to recognize these notes by just pointing to them. They could name them. E, C, D. It's a great idea to have them draw them. And you can print off this kind of paper. It's called staff paper on a line. You could find a place to just print off that, and they could start drawing those. Okay, so that's C, D, E. We have a dotted half. It's 3. Just quickly, quarter rest. Okay. Unit 4. Excuse me, is that unit? Yeah, 3, excuse me. They add a new note. So they're showing you these 2 C's are the same C's in both hands. They show you up at the top of the page where the hand is put, right hand and left. And you notice this C has the 2 of them there. So both thumbs will be playing middle C and sharing that together. So they'll both be playing like this. So they look different, but they are actually the same notes. So they need to know how to draw those. So here we've learned that the notes that are up on the top, the G clef for right hand, and these are for left. So here's your C. So they should know C, B, C, B, C, C, C. We've also talked about going down, up, so that they see that. All right, some more just review. So here they're putting the 2 notes together, so you can see how important it is from C to E that they can recognize that those are skips. Always can look at the top of the page. It shows you your hand position if your child gets lost. Okay, here Keep continuing. They're starting to put hands together. That gets tricky, so the eye needs to go from the bottom up. And then it's looking here, and then bottom up, looking. So it's good to get away from the piano and name those notes. Unit 4, we've added an A. So at this point, you probably realize, hey, my student, my child better be able to read these notes because we're going to keep adding. So if they don't know these very well, go back to the beginning and review it daily. They can get it. So which hand will play this? The left hand, that's right. Okay, so you're starting to see a mixture of right and left, right and left and right. Here we have a half rest. So this goes quarter, rest, half, rest. Okay, they're introducing more here. So back and forth, this is really good for the eye. The eye's down here, and quickly your eye comes here, it goes down. Okay, so their eye is getting trained to look. So from when two notes are stacked like this, they're played together, left and right, and their eye sweeping like this, then the eye goes like this, the eye goes like that. So they're also pulsing, so that's pretty cool. I think Unit 5 is about the max we've gone and going this week for some classes. So be sure you know all of these notes. You see the highlighted one, that's the new one. So as they get hands together, it gets a little more complex and in counting as well. And so we do quite a bit of review of that in class. And the level 2, or the intermediate class, they're moving right along, as you can tell. Just get a glimpse here. They're going to be knowing the notes from the G, just above the F clef going down, and above. Those are your two notes. So they should be reviewing all of this. This introduces ties. Let's just look. So when we have two notes that are exactly the same, that means you play the notes, the two keys here, and you continue holding them throughout the second measure. And we've learned that a measure is distinguished by bar lines. These are bar lines. So everything within that measure is, between those bar lines is called a measure. So we have measure 1, measure 2, measure 3, and 4. And this will come, if your child hasn't learned that yet, they will. Okay, so now the next thing we're going to do, after they've done their assignments in the book and they've done their exercises and they've recognized the names of their notes, they can watch the video that's whole and half steps. It's a review of the half and whole steps. This is getting them ready for major 5s. We talked about note recognition. The next song, Let It Go, I videoed that on another site. That starts on another video. And that one starts with the hand in D position. So it's like this. So it's in this position. And it shifts up. It'll shift up to here on the second line. If you play the first line 3 times, you shift up to the second line. And your hand is in this, excuse me, let me see if I have that right. So third line, you shift up to C, the thumb. So they need to be able to shift from here to here. Notice my thumb is shifting up 2 keys. So you can just have them do this, cluster it. They need to be able to do that. Then they just read numbers in that position. Last line for the intermediate students, they'll shift down to 3. So they're in this position, and they shift, their whole hand shifts down with the third finger on E. And that's a fun song. All right. Also, they can review the James Bond song. You have that. And that one is, they can keep adding on to that. So they started out with their thumb on B, like this. The intermediate level, or then they started adding this. Now, younger children can't reach this one. So it's all right if they can reach this, that'd be great. Otherwise, they just move like this. They're hearing pulse as they play with that, and the upper and the chords for the variation 3 could be played like this. Some of the chords are inverted: B minor and C major, C sharp diminished. Fun stuff. I hope your kids are enjoying the class. I'd have them review all their songs that they know, all their hand positions they know, and have a great week.